As you just heard, you are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Welcome to the Morning Buzz Wednesday edition.
Buzz,
Happy
buzz.
Valentine's Day for those who celebrate.
For those who
those who
celebrate,
don't.
you know who you are.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Not the single people.
Happy Valentine's Day to my girl Taylor Swift. You fill my blank space. And I know that you belong with me.
Please
Wow.
excuse Danny. He was dropped on his head as a child.
I lost a bet. That's the only excuse for this.
Danny
I
did
apologize.
lose a bet. That is
I
very
apologize.
true.
I thought you were gonna say Danny did get dropped on his head as a child.
Well, I did that too, but it goes without saying. At this point, if you can't figure that out.
That's true. It's true.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I'm Lizbeth Godoy. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host Danny Krostek.
Bye.
Hello, Danny. And I'm here with a lovely crew as well. And we got a super fun Valentine's Day themed morning buzz for today. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. We got an interview, we got some news, and we have a lot going on today. It's going to be a super fun show. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, we do have a news update with Rosh.
Good morning. I'm Raj Pinakota, and this is WMSC News. For our top story, on Monday, authorities said that they arrested 6 members of a drug gang in Cancun that allegedly killed 8 people. 5 bodies were found dismembered in a taxi, and the other dumped the other 3 in a grave. One of the bodies has been identified. Authorities said that 2 minors were also taken into custody in addition to the 6 members. They also issued an arrest for 23 people on charges of operating a fake tour agency as a cover for drug sales in Cancun. This announcement came after the prosecutors confirmed that an American woman and a man from Belize were shot to death last week after being caught in the crossfire between drug dealers. In national news, an emergency vehicle crashed into Austin Medical Center emergency room on Tuesday evening, killing 1 person and injuring 5 people. According to the Austin Fire Department, 1 person was extricated from the car and was given CPR but died at the scene. 4 victims were transported to other hospitals, which included an adult and a child in critical condition with life-threatening injuries to the child. Stephen Hughes, who was at the hospital Tuesday night, told CNN, quote, "The area was cleared of bystanders and hospital staff quickly began tending to the injured," end quote. In New Jersey news, a 34-year-old Trenton resident has been charged in connection with the shooting incident in New Brunswick last week. Christian Lugo Ruiz is facing 2 counts of attempted murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault. He's also facing weapons offenses. He was taken into custody on Monday. 2 men were treated at a nearby hospital Saturday morning after being shot outside a bar near 309 Somerset Street, according to the police. The shooting victims were a 20-year-old from New Brunswick and a 53-year-old from Franklin. Police did not release the identities of the shooting victims. And for our weather today, this fine day of 14th February, Valentine's Day, a day where there's supposed to be love in the air. At least the sun is in the air as we are getting a pretty sunny day with a high of 35 degrees and a low of 22 degrees, which we desperately need after that surprise snow day yesterday. This was WMSC News. Back to you, Liz.
Thank you so much for that news update, Rosh. And now we have a sports update with Ryan.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Nussbaum, and this is WMSC Sports. The Kansas City Chiefs are ready to receive a hero's welcome today as they get set for their Super Bowl victory parade in their home city. According to ESPN, hundreds of thousands of Chiefs fans are expected to show their love for the now 4-time world champions. The parade kicks off at 11 a.m. and will climax with a rally outside of Kansas City Union Station. It is unclear if Taylor Swift will be in attendance tomorrow due to her commitments for the Eras Tour. The Chiefs earned their 3rd championship in 5 years after defeating the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in Super Bowl 58 this past Sunday. History has been made as veteran broadcaster Jenny Kavnar has been named the primary play-by-play announcer for MLB's Oakland Athletics. According to the Associated Press, she will become the first woman to handle primary play-by-play duties in Major League history. The 18-year broadcast veteran said in a statement that, quote, "It is a dream come true to join the broadcast team for the Oakland A's and their rich baseball history. I'm excited to start my 18th season as an MLB broadcaster with my good friend Dallas Braden and share our experiences with the loyal fans of the Athletics as we go on this ride together." And the Orlando Magic honored legendary NBA big man Shaquille O'Neal by retiring his number 32 jersey last night during their home game. O'Neal played for 6 different teams, but it all started when he was drafted by Orlando with the first overall pick in the 1992 NBA draft. Shaq was the franchise's first superstar, and he propelled the Magic to their first trip to the NBA Finals. O'Neal left Orlando for the Los Angeles Lakers in 1996, but is recognized as the player that put the Magic on the map. O'Neal told the AP that he never forgot where he came from and said, quote, "I never thought this day would happen," end quote. This is the third team to retire Shaq's number, following the Lakers and Miami Heat. And now for last night's scores in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets fell to the Boston Celtics 118-110 at Barclays Center. New York Knicks and Philadelphia 76ers were off. In the NHL, the New Jersey Devils defeated the Nashville Predators 4-2 on the road. The New York Islanders fell to the Seattle Kraken 2-1 after a shootout at home. The New York Rangers and Philadelphia Flyers were off. And finally, on campus, Montclair State men's and women's basketball teams are back in action tonight at Panzer Athletic Center in the regular season finale. It's a Valentine's Day matchup between two teams that just love to hate each other, as the Redhawks are set to host Rowan University. The men's team is looking to improve their seeding for the upcoming NJAC tournament, while the women are looking to finish off their year by defeating a bitter rival. Both games will be carried by WMSC, with coverage starting at 5:15 p.m. This has been WMSC Sports. Back to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for that sports update. And now we're going to move into our main news for today. So, in some breaking news that happened yesterday, Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas was impeached. The U.S. House voted yesterday to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, with the Republican majority determined to punish the Biden administration over its handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. The evening roll call proved tight, with Speaker Mike Johnson's GOP majority unable to handle Democratic opposition to impeaching Mayorkas, the first cabinet secretary charged in nearly 150 years. An historic vote, the House impeached Mayorkas 214 to 213. So that's one vote difference. President Joe Biden called it a, quote, "blatant act of unconstitutional partisanship that has targeted an honorable public servant in order to play petty political games," end quote. The charges against Mayorkas next go to the Senate for a trial, but neither Democratic nor even some Republican senators have shown interest in the matter, and it may be indefinitely shelved to a committee. The Senate is expected to receive the articles of impeachment from the House after returning to session on February 26th. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, DNY, called the case against Mayorkas a, quote, "sham impeachment and a new low for House Republicans," end quote. So this is definitely some breaking news, something that we had discussed last week. Yeah, this is like history right here. And I believe we were talking about this last week when we did discuss when this originally happened, that this is part of a few historical cases that are occurring in the US government as a whole, where there are a lot of politicians who are being held accountable for things that they have done within their terms and within the times that they have served in the government. And it's definitely a historical moment. And I think it's very interesting to see that it's possible that it's going to get shelved in a way, that even though this vote has happened and it leaned one certain way, it's probably going to get delayed in some sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that it was passed, this was voted on by like a razor thin 1-vote margin in the House. In order to get removed, at least for presidential, it takes, I believe, 2/3 of the Senate. So they couldn't even they barely got the 50% they needed to impeach in the House. It's not going to go to removal, especially since it's like a 50-50 split in the Senate right now. Like there's no way.
Yeah, no, it's
you would need the entirety of the Republicans to vote for it, and you would also need like half of the Democrats. That's not gonna happen.
I just think it's really unexpected, not unexpected because it was kind of expected, but it's just interesting to see how split in half they literally are. The entire group as a whole is split almost in half completely. Yeah. But as you can see, it's swayed by one vote. Like you said, super razor thin, super close. It could have gone either way, and it just happened to sway in that direction. And so I see that at least there's some history being made in terms of that vote happening in the first place. So it's more so of a matter now waiting and seeing what exactly they do with this information and with this decision and see where they take that. But that's definitely something that we're going to keep everyone updated on the morning buzz if there's any new updates or anything like that regarding this specific case. But we have some more news in the US government as well, Danny.
We do, yes, because we have former President Donald Trump calling for new leadership in the RNC. He has yet to be officially renominated, but the former president is already calling for a new slate of leaders to take over at the Republican National Committee. Amidst other names, the presumptive GOP nominee called for his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, to be given the position of co-chair of the entire Republican Party. Ronna McDaniel, the current head of the RNC, stated that she will not be leaving her position until at earliest after the South Carolina primary. This move comes shortly after Trump and McDaniel had a private meeting to discuss the future of the party. It also indicates attempts by Trump to unite the party around him before the upcoming presidential election. Trump has expressed dissatisfaction over the RNC's perceived inaction over the alleged voter fraud that many in the GOP claim cost them the White House in 2020. This is going to be an ongoing situation. Obviously, we will continue to update you all as the situation unfolds.
Yeah, I was going to say that in the past couple of weeks, these have been the two hot issues in the media regarding politics and regarding the government. It's just been these two figures have been just top stories at this time, last couple of weeks, and a lot of history is happening and a lot of movement also, especially with the presidential campaigns. There's a lot of movement going on in the government, but again, like Danny said, we're obviously going to keep everyone updated here on the Morning Buzz. And one last update regarding AI, which again, we've been talking a lot about. AI has been a hot issue on the internet for the last year as it has advanced. And recently, the OpenAI CEO has warned against the dangers of artificial intelligence, which we have discussed here before. So the CEO of ChatGPT maker OpenAI has said that the dangers that keep him awake at night regarding artificial intelligence are, quote, the very subtle societal misalignments, end quote, that could make the systems wreak havoc. Sam Altman, speaking at the World Government Summit in Dubai via video call, reiterated his call for a body to be created to oversee AI that's likely advancing faster than the world expects. Altman said, quote, there's some things in there that are easy to imagine where things really go wrong, and I'm not that interested in the killer robots walking on the street direction of things going wrong. I'm more interested in the very subtle societal misalignments where we just have these systems out in society and through no particular ill intention, things just go horribly wrong, end quote. Altman stressed that the AI industry, like OpenAI, shouldn't be in the driver's seat when it comes to making regulations governing the industry. Altman said that he was heartened to see that schools where teachers feared students would use AI to write papers now embrace the technology as crucial for the future, but he added that AI still remains in its infancy.
If you're scared about AI, maybe don't be the guy that makes the AI.
I was wondering this when I was reading up on this. I just think that it's so interesting that the person who is giving the warnings is the person who created the technology in the first place.
If it keeps you awake at night, maybe don't make the thing that's doing that. Like this is avoidable, sir.
It's also like
You could have
People
just not
could-
bought the company.
people could always bring up the argument that every good invention has some kind of flip side. And
it's
like
But like
that's true.
But
But also not if you're scared about killer robots.
well, he said he's not scared of killer robots. That's what he's saying. He's
Just
saying
killer
that he's
robots.
more scared
Of
about what
The
we
subtle
as,
societal misalignments.
yeah, of what we as humans are going to do with AI. And I do think that in some sense I see what he's trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he created it, but also I mean, I was gonna quote Spider-Man, like with great power comes great
No responsibility.
because
Gotcha.
we were given AI as a technology that, like we mentioned, is being used in schools and being used for other things that can be really crucial and really helpful. However, we as human beings have to be responsible with what we're doing with AI. And we have seen time and time again on social media that some people have not
Just
been
don't have
responsible.
that kind of common sense.
Have any of you guys used like obviously legally, but like has the teacher ever been like, you guys can use AI?
Yes.
One of my
And if
teachers.
so, what was that like? Because the only time I've ever done that was in senior year of high school. We had a project, and this was like when AI like art stuff was like
Well, let me
just
see.
starting,
It
and
was spring
saying-
semester out in college.
What did you
Of
have to
spring
do?
2023. I was in this class and the professor asked, like, literally, like, came up to me and was like, "Hey, Raj, can you check if you can do like this assignment, the final presentation, by the way, on ChatGPT?" So I checked it and I was like, "Yeah, you can." I was like, "Great, awesome, use it." So I got an A.
So I got an A. So using AI.
I got an A. That's why it's called AI, not BI.
No, it's AI because you got the A. So
Yeah.
it just makes sense. I don't know. I think that personally, I had about I think 2 asynchronous classes last semester where the professors were like, you can use AI to form ideas for your assignments, but don't use AI to do the assignments. So like don't ask AI to do
Exactly.
the
Like
assignment.
if you're doing a research paper, you can use ChatGPT to like create like topic ideas or like thesis ideas and like an outline.
Because that's what
Because sometimes
that's
when you ask
useful.
ChatGPT for like very specific things, sometimes it does not. Like
The
I
thing
asked
is-
it to write an essay on what was it? I forget what it was on, but it was why Nick Cage deserves an Oscar for his role in the film Cats.
What?
Which he did not star in, and it wrote like a persuasive essay that was like his
Oh,
role as
wow.
Rum Tum Tugger or whatever. I'm like, he was not in that movie. Thank you, ChatGPT.
Yeah,
No, but
I think
also the
it's-
thing is, like, I know ChatGPT is inaccurate, but it's also kind of, I don't know. I don't have another word. I'm gonna say flabbergasted. Do not make fun of me for this later. It's flabbergasting to see because I talked to ChatGPT in my mother tongue and it gave perfectly normal responses back. And
Ooh, I should start writing ChatGPT in Spanish.
Maybe
Yeah.
alternate languages are better at it.
I tried multiple languages because I was like, maybe this is just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried 2 other languages. No, it still gave me like a pretty good response. Not a pretty good response. It was like
It
wonky.
was a
It's on the same level as Google
Did a job.
Translate.
Oh,
Good
Google
job.
Translate
Good
is
job,
good.
It's a good
ChatGPT.
solid job. It took it too
It
long.
did a solid 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. I think definitely ChatGPT had, like I said, AI in general has its
Ups and
things,
downs.
Three-
but also has its
3.5.
caveats. Like
3.5 out of 5 is actually what I gave the original Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey on Letterboxd.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Danny.
Danny.
how did we get here? I think we need to take a break and move on from this subject before Danny goes on a tangent about Blood and Honey.
Which you
So-
probably will during
He-
the break.
He definitely will, but you guys don't need to hear that. I'm gonna play some tunes.
We don't
for
have a
us.
choice. Well,
Why didn't nobody tell me that it snowed?
It did. It did snow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
it also
God.
snowed in New York.
In New
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made.
For snow with disastrous results. In light of yesterday's snowstorm, Mayor Eric Adams announced that New York City would be holding school online rather than canceling school throughout the city. While Adams felt that it was important to give the children stability, in his words, the move was plagued from the start with technical issues preventing students and teachers from accessing their accounts. Many parents found themselves overwhelmed by the technical challenges of setting up Zoom calls, and much blame was hurled at the city's technology contractor, a company called IBM. This move was compared to the virtual learning during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, the early COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, with everything that comes with that comparison. Immediately after the pandemic, 39% of school districts nationwide stated that they had converted to remote learning instead of going to do snow days. Though this number has fallen, and many major cities in the Northeast, such as Boston, had normal snow days instead of virtual learning yesterday, but not NYC. Adams defended his decision to go virtual, saying, quote, "We cannot afford our young people to miss school days," end quote, due to falling behind during COVID.
You know who also had technical issues? Montclair.
Yeah,
Montclair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we did have a Canvas outage yesterday.
We did.
Me and Riley were freaking out.
Yeah, we should have a song like, in Montclair.
Rocky, the How did you come up with that? So
I don't know.
Problems never stop.
No, never.
no, they don't.
Yeah.
And I mean, jumping off of that, there's also another similar story about schools suggesting that mildly sick kids still attend school, which
What?
I was reading about, and
Okay.
I was like, this
Say
is
more.
interesting.
Say
So
more.
it's according to AP News, there was this mother. Her name is Trennis Dorsey Hollins, and her 5-year-old daughter was sick a lot last year. So she followed the school's guidelines and kept her home when she had a cough or a sore throat or worse until she was completely better. However, near the end of the year, the school in Fort Worth, Texas, called her in to talk about why her daughter had missed so much school. During the pandemic, schools urged parents and children to stay at home and any sign of illness. And even though the emergency has ended, she has said no one has clarified that those rules have changed. Widely varying guidance on when to keep children home has only added to the confusion, which many see as a factor in the nationwide epidemic of chronic school absences. Some advocates and school systems are now encouraging kids to come to class even when they have the sniffles or other nuisance illnesses like lice or pink eye. Wow.
Hold on a minute. Okay,
Wait,
sorry,
I'm gonna
continue,
continue.
but
So Hetty Chang, the executive director of Attendance Works, said that families must hear that they no longer must keep kids at home at the sign of any illness, which let me clarify that families need to like hear it from the, I guess, faculty of the school and the administration. Like they can't just assume that these schools want to have those rules in place. But the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends staying home when there's fever, vomiting, or diarrhea, or when students, quote, are not well enough to participate in class.
Okay, before you guys go off,
hold on, I'm gonna let you finish.
thank you. Okay, I know it's a different country. It's a different country, but I still went to school with when I had like cold, cough, or like sore throat,
Oh, I
and it
did
was
too.
that's what most people
Yeah, that was
do.
just normal.
That's
But like,
Yeah, I don't usually get that sick, and I don't usually call out of school unless it's like I do not think I will be able to make
You
it.
have
If
to
I had-
call out school. Like,
well,
yeah,
like back in like high school, you'd have to like
Yeah, in high school you
yeah,
had to
have
call
like,
out, otherwise they would call your home.
Yeah.
And they
oh
would be
wow,
like,
yeah, we
"Where's
didn't
your
have that
child?"
good of a system. You see, we just skipped school,
Oh,
and then we would just give a
Now- nowadays-
give it like an excuse whenever
You
the
just-
next time we
you just
see
gotta
them.
show up, you just email the professor, being like, "Hey, not gonna be there. Sorry."
Yeah.
You know. But like, I don't like missing stuff because I always feel like I'm
Sorry.
behind immediately. You know. So
Like,
like, I understand that like don't call out if you have like a little sniffle or a cold, whatever.
Yeah,
that,
but-
that makes sense to me.
but what?
Go ahead.
With that said, not calling out when there's lice or pink eye? Are you
Those two
kidding me?
things
Like
are-
the two most
Are
contagious
actually
things on the
contagious.
planet?
Exactly.
Are you serious?
Like you could argue like
Like having like a cold is contagious too, but like pink not on the same level.
like you could put on a mask if you have a cold and like
Yeah.
that'll reduce the chance of you getting someone else sick. But you can't put on a mask when you have lice or pink eye.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry. What parent out there is sending their kid to school with lice?
exactly.
That's just crazy to me.
They're gonna probably do that anyway because that's insane.
Yeah, no, I'm
What?
in shock about this specific. And when I was reading up on this, I was like, we have
That's
to
actually
talk about this because like I said before, I understand if there's someone who, has a little cough, a little sniffle, like I said, you could put on a mask and maybe in 2 days you'll be fine, and it's not as likely that you'll get somebody sick. But lice is literally, if you get too close to somebody, you could literally give it to someone. And pink eye, even worse. Pink eye is even worse. And I can't imagine sending my child to school with lice. Like, no. And then that causes so many issues because then the other kids at school get lice and then it starts to spread around. And especially younger kids who aren't as self-aware of hygiene or of like being contagious, they might not understand how serious it is. And even though their parents explain it to them, they could still put other people at risk of getting whatever it is that they
And-
have.
Yeah, and lice, honestly, you could take every precaution and it could still spread. Like lice is the kind of thing where back. Well, I mean, I got lucky, but there was an outbreak of lice in my hometown in I want to say I don't know 2016, 2017, and it was literally if you are someone that has lice and you're wearing something and you brush into someone, boom.
That's
That
it.
like that could be all like it could be an accident.
Yeah, it
You know?
literally like
Like that's not necessarily something you can control. Where it's like, oh, just like stay away from people and just like don't call people. Like if you accidentally touch someone's clothes and
it's
you have
literally a
lice,
situation where
you're
you
done.
have to
You're
stay
cooked.
home because you need to get rid of all the lice before you can come in contact with other people.
Yeah.
And it's just that's what makes it so difficult. And then pink eye, I've never had pink eye. I've had lice, but I've never had pink eye, so I don't know the exact details of pink eye, but it's just
Pink eye's
like
nasty. Pink eye
I've
is
heard,
gross.
I've seen it,
had
I've just never had it myself.
You know what? Listen, you're lucky, Danny. Being a girl in like elementary school with lice was the worst. My mom would have to like spray like lice preventer in my hair every morning just because it was just so like the chances of getting lice, it was just out of like the planet.
Yeah, and what drove me crazy in school was that it was like they would send out an email, a mass email to all the people, all the parents, and be like, "Hey, there's been a case of lice or multiple cases of lice reported in the school." And it's like crazy because you don't know who it is. You have no idea who it is that had it and if you were in contact with that person. So you would just show up and hope that you were not in contact with that person or that you didn't see that person if they got sent to school that
Yeah.
day. Like it was just I don't know. I don't know how I did it or how they're doing it now, or how they address these situations.
It's such a weird situation because this all goes back to the pandemic. I mean, after pretty much it kind of passed a little bit, there's still a little bit left at this point, but there's some people who are on one side of the fence who are super cautious, still wearing masks, still staying home at any sign of sickness, still trying to avoid events. I know those kind of people, and I know just as many people on the other side of the fence who are completely the opposite. No, we'll never wear a mask even if they have COVID. We'll not vaccinate. We'll not do any of the stuff that they need to do to protect themselves. And that's kind of what we lost when the pandemic happened, because I feel like there was a consensus of, in this case, what we should do when a kid is sick. Okay, if the kid has the sniffles, he can go to school. If the kid has a fever, they should stay home. That, I feel like that was a consensus, but now people are kind of all over the place, and I think that's kind of the story here.
Also, brief shout out to our Buzz producer Nicole, who apparently was so disgusted by the idea of lice that she briefly lost the ability to type coherent sentences in English.
Yeah, I don't want I don't even want to think about lice. It was horrible. It was
Lice,
traumatic.
baby.
It was
I don't even know what she was trying to say. We have either and monolike.
It's give her a break. It's early.
973, whatever the number is. Call in.
It's early, man. I can't type until at least 8 a.m. So I can't even blame anybody. That's an innocent mistake.
I could translate. I think what she's trying to say is I literally know like life trauma is another
That's gotta
level.
be it, yeah.
Yeah, that's our Nicole translation. We love you, Nicole.
Google,
but
we need Google Translate for Nicole.
we really
Staten
do.
Islandese.
Oh my goodness.
whoa.
Yeah, no, so I mean really just stay safe out there when it comes to your health and be careful and take all the necessary precautions. Like yeah, you still might get sick because it's just sometimes it's inevitable, but I think that as long as you take the necessary precautions and especially with in terms of airborne / contagious illnesses having to do with like cold, flu, etc., COVID, there's certain precautions you can take. You can wear a mask, and that can help you avoid other people getting sick. And especially with how cold it is now, there's a lot more people getting sick. So that's still something to be on the lookout for. But we are gonna, before we end our first hour for today, we do have a segment with Riley. Oh my goodness. We have a segment with Riley. Web explorers. Riley, take us into the web.
Hello. Normally my segment is about the worst of the web. Today is Valentine's Day though, so let's go somewhere a little not as poor. All right. So
there's a lot of directions you can go.
yeah.
No, the web Valentine's Day edition. There's a lot of
now
places we can
there
go with
are.
that.
So I'm gonna bring you this sign that was posted on Reddit about a day ago that just says, "This is Kevin. Kevin bought his wife flowers from a supermarket. Kevin is now single. Don't be like Kevin. Buy flowers from a florist.
What?
This looks
What?
like a
No.
supermarket.
I just wanted to know your guys' personal opinions on that.
Have you seen how I can say this now because I can be cynical, but like, have you guys seen how expensive flowers are nowadays?
Yes,
Like,
but
even supermarket ones. Do you understand how expensive even just cheap supermarket ones are?
Well, see, here's what I was gonna bring up. Someone said, if I spend that much on flowers, my wife would get pissed. She wants me to get them at the store. So you got a good point here. But I just thought this sign was very I saw this on Reddit when I was scrolling through and I was like, this has to be brought up because there's no way. There's no way that this is also you're right, this photo looks like it's absolutely in the supermarket and I'm not sure what's going
Well,
on here.
I think it's actually at a florist. It's at a florist, not a supermarket, because I don't know, it just wouldn't make sense. But I don't know. And plus, I see the flower price is pretty expensive down there. Yikes!
Oh yeah, the value $49.
$49.
It's a small vase.
Segue.
Wait, real quick.
Okay.
Do you guys pronounce vase or vase?
base.
I'm more of a vase guy
Of course
personally.
you are.
What do you mean? Of course.
You know, Riley, the only
You always have
the
to be
only
the
flowers
contrarian.
the only flowers I want are Lego flowers.
Those are so real. So real. The Lego flowers are so real.
I have
The flowers
Lego
I want are the ones from
sunflowers.
Mario that make you shoot fire.
Okay.
Okay, I have the Lego sunflowers in my home. I built them with my boyfriend, and that's what got me obsessed with all the Lego flowers. And then they released a whole like collection, and now they're selling every kind of flower that they have ever released, all at once.
Venus flytrap?
No,
I'm honestly sure they'll get there eventually, though.
And then
I-
it would like work.
I wouldn't be
It'll
surprised.
be like a working like open and closing Venus flytrap
That would make sense.
somehow.
I think Lego flowers are really cute, and it's because you like build them yourself and they last forever.
Cool proposal idea. Put your engagement ring in a Venus flytrap.
If you love me, you'll have to risk your fingers.
If you love me, you have to risk your life. Prove it to me.
Fly traps don't eat that fast. You could honestly pry it.
No,
open.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh, yeah.
You're a human,
So
no,
what's the
it's-
problem? Do it.
It takes some hours to digest, so it's just.
And
I doubt that you putting your finger in for a second
Yeah.
will do anything.
and the diamond's probably too heavy for the Venus flytrap anyway. I don't think it'll be able to handle that.
build a Venus flytrap,
Wow.
which is
No.
Well,
Hey, that just shows how much. That just shows the love.
Venus flytraps can drive. All right, I've played Mario Kart.
that is true.
See,
That is
Yuki
true.
Piranha, that guy's got style. He's got a good car.
Yeah.
He was not even that good.
But-
So moral of the
See the
story,
light.
buy your significant other Lego flowers and then go play Mario Kart. You'll have a better time than buying $49 flowers at the florist.
yeah, like
That's
let's,
the life.
gentlemen. I'm just gonna call it as it is. To all the gentlemen listening,
Okay.
if your girl gets angry at you for not buying the $49 flowers and going to the supermarket instead, she ain't the one. Move on. Find someone else.
I'll take that point further. If your girl gets mad at you for buying Lego flowers instead of real flowers, she's definitely
She's definitely even more. I agree with that.
If you took the price tag off, would you even be able to tell the difference?
no.
No,
It
and
depends.
that's a good thing.
Does it-
Someone, the top comment actually on this post too, if you look, says that their significant other used to work at a flower shop. How many times she was sent to the local grocery store to clean out their flowers because the flower shop ran out? They all come from the same place.
The first reply, lol, yeah, the ground.
The ground.
Danny response.
I was gonna
Yeah, well,
say that.
well,
I was
that's
gonna
something
say
that I
that
would
too. I was gonna say, yeah, they all grow up from the ground, so I'm pretty sure they all come from the same place.
Actually, flowers grow on trees.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, Rosh. I don't know if flowers grow on trees. Technically, some do.
Technically, some do.
Like
yeah.
cherry blossoms grow on trees.
Cherry blossoms, like have any of you guys ever been to Washington, DC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cherry
Yes.
blossoms, like by the Jefferson stuff, like that. Very pretty.
Very pretty.
Very, very pretty.
Counterpoint though.
Washington, DC.
Counterpoint though, the Lego cherry blossom tree has little pink frogs, so it's
Yes,
cooler.
It does, and I love frogs, and they're pink, and I hate
Yeah.
pink, but pink frogs is really cute.
It's pink.
And so then I want to take this opportunity to ask everybody, what is your favorite flower? And I'm talking about real life flowers, so it can be any flower that you like, not plant, flower.
Flower.
Is there a not
It's
real
basic.
life flower?
Lego.
Piranha plants?
Well,
Oh, that's a real flower.
They're
what?
not real.
Wait, what?
Piranha plants?
Oh,
You don't know what a piranha plant is?
no.
From Mario.
Oh, yeah,
Piranha
yeah,
plants
yeah, yeah.
Aren't they the same thing as Phantoms?
Technically, yes.
I guess.
I think it's just a different.
It's the same idea, but it's not the same.
I'm a basic sunflower guy. You know, I like the colors.
My favorite
I like
is
the time of
Lily
year
of
that
the
they
Valley.
Come up in, you know. I also just don't know flowers, so like.
Sunflower is my second favorite, but Lily of the Valley is my first favorite, and it's also technically poisonous. Yeah, but it looks pretty. That's
As long as you're not eating the flowers, you're in the clear. You're in the clear.
I don't know anything about flowers myself, but I am good at picking out flowers. I will say that. Like when I've had to get flowers for
Wow.
people, like I do a good job.
wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
So
realize
what about everybody else?
I'm a rose guy, and I'm classic. I don't know. They're just very.
How do you feel about the rose sunflower mix?
It's different vibes.
Rose sunflower? That's a thing.
Yeah, there's rose sunflower bouquets. Those are some of
Oh,
my
that's-
favorite kinds of
oh.
bouquets. Those
Oh.
sunflower rose, they look cute together.
I'll take a look.
What about Riley and Rosh?
be so honest. I just looked up 60 of the most popular flowers because I know nothing about flowers. Like, I
Yeah, me
legitimately-
neither.
So let me pick one from this list that looks cool. We'll go with number 13, the iris, because it's purple and that seems cool.
Do you like purple, Riley?
Not really, but these flowers are cool, so I'll go with that. They have facts here about the flower. They're the state irises are the state flower of Tennessee, and
Because you're the only 10 I see.
and the national
Rocheville, Tennessee.
and the national symbol of France. So you know what? I guess French people like irises.
People.
Does that make it better or worse?
So
Viva la revolution.
all we're
Long-
missing is Rosh.
Hey, Roch.
I looked up flower names, but
Full name.
I think I don't know. Let's go with Daisy.
That's like the most basic answer you could have given.
You looked up Daisy. You couldn't have just gone
you
with
couldn't think
Daisy.
of, you couldn't think of that? Oh my goodness.
90.3 WMSC Upper Mont.
Well,
Rosh loves daisies.
Web Slurs
Why? I have
Valentine's
no
Day
idea.
edition. Great. This was my Valentine's Day edition of Web Explorers where we literally did nothing but go off the hinge. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's
If you are interested in letting us know what your type of favorite flower is, call in at 973-655-4256 and Liz will answer the phone. Right, Liz?
Sure. Tell us what your
Sure.
favorite flower is. For now, we're gonna go on a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna have our second hour of our show. We got some entertainment news, some Am I in the Wrong?
And we got my weather
weather
forecast.
forecast, and some strange news. There's some really strange news today. It's
Yeah.
a variety, and we have
A garden variety.
A little segment we're bringing back. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Morning Buzz
Oh, it wasn't
Wednesday
us.
edition. I'm your host, Lisbeth Godoy, and I'm here with my co-host, Danny Krostek.
Hello.
Okay, what a greeting. And happy Valentine's Day. If you're just tuning in, it is indeed Valentine's Day. It's currently 8:07 a.m.
Praise to Saint Valentine.
Praise the
Sure.
Lord.
I don't know what I don't know what the word-
I don't know. It is Valentine's Day, and we hope everybody has an amazing Valentine's Day today. We have
go get candy if you're single because
no,
they're
wait till
cheaper.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You
That's
have
true.
to-
Oh yeah, that's
Day after
true.
Valentine's Day. If you,
Yeah.
if you
Guys,
want-
Target run?
If you wanted to buy
You're
yourself some
interested.
candies like that, go tomorrow, not today, because today will be expensive.
Tomorrow
Everyone
will
that
be
forgot to
cheap.
get stuff for their girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, wife, whatever, spouse, whoever. husband.
Whatever.
Did not include husband in that sentence.
Anything. Dog.
For the dog, yeah.
Good one, good
Be
one.
careful what you feed your dog, though.
Did anyone
Yeah.
watch the Puppy Bowl?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I wish I had. I didn't know. I didn't realize when it was on.
The
so-
orange team won. Which one was the orange one?
Oh no.
It was Fluff or Rough. I think Fluff. I think it's
Yeah. Well, yeah. Look, give us a fact check, Rosh.
Yeah, Rosh.
It is-
Rosh has a news update
Oh.
for us as well.
And it is not the Puppy Bowl.
it's not
good-
the puppy bowl.
It's not the Puppy Bowl. Good
No, it
morning.
is a
I'm
news
Rashmina
update.
Cordell, and this is WMSC News. For our top story, on Monday, authorities said that they arrested 6 members of a drug gang in Cancun that allegedly killed 8 people. 5 bodies were found dismembered in a taxi, and the other dumped, the other 3 in a grave. One of the bodies have been identified. Authorities said that 2 minors were also taken into custody in addition to the 6 members. They also issued an arrest for 23 people on charges of operating a fake tour agency as a cover for drug sales in Cancun. This announcement came after prosecutors confirmed that an American woman and a man from Belize were shot to death last week after being caught in the crossfire between drug dealers. In national news, an emergency vehicle crashed into an Austin Medical Center emergency room on Tuesday evening, killing 1 person and injuring 5 people. According to the Austin Fire Department, 1 person was extricated from the car and was given CPR but died at the scene. 4 victims were transported to other hospitals, which included an adult and child in critical condition with life-threatening injuries to the child. Stephen Hughes, who was at the hospital Tuesday night, told CNN, quote, "The area was cleared of bystanders and hospital staff quickly began tending to the injured," end quote. In New Jersey news, a 34-year-old Trenton resident has been charged in connection with the shooting incident in New Brunswick last week. Christian Lugo Ruiz is facing 2 counts of attempted murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and aggravated assault. He's also facing weapons offenses. He was taken into custody on Monday. 2 men were treated at nearby hospitals Saturday morning after being shot outside a bar near 309 Somerset Street, according to the police. The shooting victims were a 20-year-old from New Brunswick and a 53-year-old from Franklin. Police do not release the identities of the shooting victims. And for weather forecast, this fine day of February 14th, Valentine's Day, a day where there's supposed to be love in the air, at least if you're in a relationship. I'm sorry if you're single. At least the sun is in the air as we are getting a pretty sunny day with a high of 35 degrees and a low of 22 degrees, which we desperately need after that surprise snow day yesterday. And for tomorrow's weather, February 15th, post Valentine's Day, we will have a high of 40 degrees and a low of 33 degrees with a mix of clouds and sun in the morning, followed by cloudy skies. So if you're having one of those days where you're having mood swings, don't worry, because you're not alone, because the weather is having mood swings too. Pick a weather lane, buddy. And on that note, this has been WMSC News. Back to you, Liz.
Yes, no 2 ways about it. I couldn't think of something to go.
Thank you so much for that news update, Rosh. And now we have a sports update. Sports with Ryan.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Nussbaum, and this is WMSC Sports. The Kansas City Chiefs are ready to receive a hero's welcome today as they get set for their Super Bowl victory parade in their home city. According to ESPN, hundreds of thousands of Chiefs fans are expected to show their love for the now 4-time world champions. The parade kicks off at 11 a.m. and will climax with a rally outside of Kansas City Union Station. It is unclear if Taylor Swift will be in attendance tomorrow due to her commitments for the Eras Tour. The Chiefs earned their 3rd Super Bowl championship in 5 years after defeating the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in Super Bowl 58 this past Sunday. History has been made as veteran baseball broadcaster Jenny Kavnar has been named the primary play-by-play announcer for MLB's Oakland Athletics. According to the Associated Press, she will become the first woman to handle primary play-by-play duties in Major League history. The 18-year broadcasting veteran said in a statement that, quote, "It is a dream come true to join the broadcast team for the Oakland A's and their rich baseball history. I'm excited to start my 18th season as a Major League broadcaster with my good friend Dallas Braden and share our experiences with the loyal fans of the Athletics as we go on this ride together." The Orlando Magic have honored legendary NBA big man Shaquille O'Neal by retiring his number 32 jersey during last night's home game. O'Neal played for 6 different NBA teams, but it all started when he was drafted by Orlando with the 1st overall pick in the 1992 NBA draft. Shaq was the franchise's first superstar, and he propelled the Magic to their first ever trip to the NBA Finals. O'Neal left Orlando for the Los Angeles Lakers in 1996, but is recognized as the player that put the Magic on the map. O'Neal told the AP that he never forgot where he came from and said, quote, "I never thought this day would happen," end quote. This is the third team to retire Shaq's number, following the Lakers and Miami Heat. And on to last night's score in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets fell to the Boston Celtics 118-110 at Barclays Center. New York Knicks and Philadelphia 76ers were off. In the NHL, the New Jersey Devils defeated the Nashville Predators 4-2 on the road. The New York Islanders fell to the Seattle Kraken 2-1 after a shootout at home. The New York Rangers and Philadelphia Flyers were off. Baseball season's right around the corner as pitchers and catchers reported to spring training today across baseball, including the New York Mets and Yankees. And finally, on campus, Montclair State men's and women's basketball teams are back in action tonight at Panzer Athletic Center in the regular season finale. It's a Valentine's Day matchup between two teams that just love to hate each other, as the Red Hawks are set to host Rowan University. The men's team is looking to improve their seeding for the upcoming NJAC tournament, while the women are looking to finish off their year by defeating a bitter rival. Both games will be carried by WMSC with coverage starting at 5:15 p.m. This has been WMSC Sports. Back to you, Liz.
Thank you so much for that news update, Ryan. And now we are going to move into our favorite part of the day. Am I in the wrong? And I've got some.
Am I?
I don't know. We're about to find out. I've got some very interesting Am I in the Wrongs for today. So if you've never heard our segment, this is a deep dive into the world of Reddit and messy situations. And just a quick disclaimer, these stories are not our personal experiences. These are stories from anonymous people on Reddit.
Thankfully, I think if this was a personal experience, I think I would lose my mind.
So, the first one for today. Am I in the wrong for bringing my daughter shopping on Valentine's Day because she didn't have a Valentine? I want you guys to pay attention to this one and pay attention to the ages of these people involved. Just keep that in mind while I read. So, my 15-year-old female daughter and her boyfriend broke up a couple of days ago. My daughter is obviously pretty upset about it since they were going to be Valentines, and I've been comforting her about it since. Since my daughter told me her friends don't have Valentines either, I proposed the idea that maybe she and her friends just hang out together. I offered to take them. I know these friends really well, basically sisters to my daughter. And I offered to take them to the mall in Los Angeles since my husband and I are going to a restaurant for Valentine's Day anyways. Fast forward a couple of hours and my daughter's friends' parents are okay with it as long as they're back by 10 p.m. I trust these girls, so I'm planning on leaving my daughter with a couple of $100 for shopping, as well as an Uber for her and her friends for their ride home. My son, a 14-year-old male, isn't happy with this. He says he thinks it isn't fair since all the years he didn't have a Valentine except this year. I didn't do that for him. I think it's different though because my daughter had a falling out with her boyfriend, and plus she's 15. All those other years my son is talking about was when there was no chance I'm sending a 12-year-old to the mall with his friends. My husband doesn't really care about most of this, so I'm here asking for some outside perspective. Am I in the wrong?
Why would she be in that?
Yeah, what's
I'm actually
the
confused what
what's
conflict
the
is,
what's the
actually.
issue?
So, okay,
No
if I want to
issue.
explain, because there was an edit made to this post that I read, and there's like other comments, obviously. So, the son is unhappy that the mom is taking the daughter to like or giving the daughter money to go shopping with her friends or taking her whatever. Which I don't know. I don't understand the term taking her because she's not even going. She's just sending her daughter there. But what it is the son is mad that all the years he didn't have a Valentine, which would be since the day he was born, he didn't get sent to the mall with his friends. And that he's upset that the daughter gets like this like paid trip to the mall.
Okay,
with
but
her
she's
friends.
absolutely right. Why send the 12-year-old to the mall by themselves?
Why send a 15-year-old to the mall by themselves in an Uber?
Okay.
Why does my question is why does your 15-year-old have a boyfriend? That's what I
true.
want.
There's more
Wait.
questions here than answers.
Wait, I'm so confused. My sister's 15, has a boyfriend.
15 when I got my
Yeah, 15's a freshman in high school. That's not weird.
Liz, what are you talking about?
It's a little weird to me. I think it should-
Liz, we don't count.
I know we
The
don't
two of us,
count.
we don't count.
We don't count.
Like,
Wait, is that not normal? For
That's
people
not
outside of
normal.
South Jersey?
No,
well, my sister.
South Jersey.
it's not a South Jersey thing. It's just
Is it actually just South Jersey? Because I thought
it's-
like
it's
everyone in
not.
America.
I'm not
not
from
South
South Jersey, so like it doesn't really that point just kind of goes out the window. Like I
No,
said, my
it's not.
sister.
It's not a South
why that's
Jersey thing.
confusing.
I for one am from the real part of New Jersey, not the south part. I'm from real Jersey.
I just know I don't see there's anything wrong. One, like again, you're not gonna send 12-year-olds to the mall. 15's a freshman in high school. I think that's fine.
Here's a way to put it in perspective. Ready? Is like the next year the kid's gonna be able to drive themselves.
Yeah.
You should be able to trust them to go by themselves in Uber with a group. It's not even like you're just
Yeah, they're not-
like you're going with a group.
Yeah, I don't
it would be
see
different
what
if-
the issue is at all here.
Like, oh, I'm sending them by themselves, and you're like, no, they're going with a group of friends. Like, what's the issue?
But okay, here's my argument against this. Think about it. Don't you think it's a little unfair if
No.
don't you think it's a little
No.
stop. Let me talk. Don't you think it's a little unfair to the son or the boy? And this isn't even Valentine, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. You're what I'm boiling this down to is one kid gets hundreds, not hundreds of dollars to go on a shopping trip, and the other doesn't get hundreds of dollars to go on a shopping trip. How is that fair? How is that equitable?
Boy, if this was me, I wouldn't care.
No, you wouldn't. Stop lying.
I'm gonna
Stop lying.
I'm-
If you saw your sister get $100 or hundreds of dollars and you didn't get the hundreds of dollars back, you would be angry. You would be upset. You would be jealous. No, you wouldn't. You're 14 years old. Nobody understands that at that point.
I'm gonna
You still have the maturity of a 14-year-old. You don't understand how this isn't a problem.
The maturity of an 8-year-old. What are you talking about?
see, here's the thing. I'm gonna
But
stop
money,
you.
money shouldn't fix that type of issue. And if you're gonna be a parent and you're gonna be handing out hundreds of dollars, if you're gonna hand out hundreds of dollars, you should hand it out equitably. That's it. That's my entire argument, and there's no problem with that.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm gonna say this right now. My sister's 15. If my parents offered her 200 to go shopping right now, I'm just gonna sit back and let her go shopping. I don't care. I do not care. I've established I don't care. Me and my sister are two very different people. I can understand that. My sister likes to get clothes. She can spend $200 on clothes, and I will sit back and let her do that. I don't care.
The roles were reversed, and the son was the one that went through a breakup right then.
Do the same thing.
Exact same thing. You know, maybe not like, hey, do you want to go to a mall? Because I don't know if that's something he would want to do. But it's like, hey, do you and a group of friends want to go do a thing?
Especially
similar
that
amount of
he
money.
established what is he sad about? He's got a Valentine's this year. There's no issue. There first of all, no one's saying when he turns 15 he doesn't get the same option. He's 14 now. He's too young to go out. This is something that I established. I got to go out at a certain age. My sister then gets to go at the same age that I got to go out. Doesn't matter. She could complain all she wants when she's that age. The minute she turns the age that I got to go out, very much welcome to leave.
There's no issue.
There's 100% an issue because you have to treat them kids equally.
So,
100%.
So hold on.
Wait,
Hold
I
on.
think- I think
If you were a parent, right, and you have a 15-year-old, I'm gonna change the age just for the sake of the argument because you're saying, oh, you need to treat the kids equally. You have a 15-year-old in high school, right? 15-year-old's first year of high school, or maybe second year, depending when the birthday is.
Okay.
And you're letting them, hey, okay, go to the mall with some friends by yourself for a little bit. Okay, here's some money to go do that. Okay. 14-year-olds old, you're still in middle school. So are you gonna let them give a middle schooler and a high schooler the same privileges?
This 1 year apart, probably less than 1 year apart. I don't see what the issue is.
Still, it's
It's literally less than 365.
Okay. So I think
Okay,
what the
let's-
mom
I'm
is
gonna
arguing.
take this,
Wait,
'cause-
hold on. I think what the mom is arguing here or asking for opinions on specifically. Is that- No, I was just gonna say it's like the mom is saying like, hey, like my daughter's going through a heartbreak, and that's why I was just trying to help her cheer up. Like she's not saying that the son can't go to the mall. I
Yeah,
think maybe
yeah.
he either didn't ask or like maybe she didn't think that he'd ever want that.
Yeah.
Because
And it sounds
maybe
like
because
this-
like, you
it
know,
sounds
he's a
like this might be
guy,
a
guys
first breakup,
typically don't
too.
like Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, it most
yeah.
likely is
Which would
because
be
she's
hard anyway,
15.
Which would be hard anyway. but
Yeah, also,
she's
like,
15,
all-
so she's already like,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
all the
crazy
years that
teenager
the
anyway.
son has not had a Valentine, like, did he just get broken up? Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
it's different when you're like single on Valentine's Day, and it's different when you
He's
just
also-
broke
he's
up
also
like a
annoying
few days
teenager too.
ago.
He's also
Yeah.
he's also a
But okay, Liz and I were talking about what were we talking about?
the age thing. Why it
Wait,
was
no,
weird to us.
No, we're talking about what, like, we're the two ones that's silent, and like it's these three guys just like
Well,
arguing,
Riley, why don't you tell us what Reddit thinks?
Not in the wrong.
Correct.
not in the
Yes.
wrong. Yeah, as
There
it
was not
should
much
be.
argument.
Incorrect.
I don't think this is a complicated thing. Again,
This shouldn't be
like,
complicated.
I like knowing the way I was raised. This is 100% honestly this is 100% the way I was raised, and there is no issue behind it.
This is fine.
Like,
And what we're not even asking is what does a kid do with hundreds of dollars at the mall? That kid does not need hundreds of dollars at the mall.
do you know how expensive things at the mall are?
Listen, I'll tell you what the girls probably do. She's probably getting clothes. Do you know how expensive clothes are? At the
I will
mall?
tell.
It depends on what store you go to.
No, as a woman, I will tell you right now, my sister bought a crop top for $50 at a minimum.
Stuff that-
Well, she's getting robbed. She's getting fleeced. Yeah, fleeced. She's getting robbed.
No,
So
The wool's getting taken off her back.
I was gonna say that what's it called?
I can't. with
My
this
mom
girl.
used
basically,
to,
if
my
we,
mom-
I'm 100% with
my
you.
mom
Yeah,
used
but-
to send me to the mall with $20, and she thought that was enough to get.
Exactly. Me
It's like a-
too.
It's like a single
It-
drink, honestly.
Well, I was in India, so she would send me with like 500 rupees, which is like, wait,
$500?
let's no,
Um,
oh, rupees.
I don't know the exchange rate.
No, it's like 1 rupee. No, $1 is 80 rupees. Wait, let's look it up.
One for
What
$80?
is $500?
Yeah, in Mexico it's 1 for 20.
rupees.
Interesting.
In
It's
That makes
yeah.
a little bit more sense though. Well, one for 80 is interesting.
I mean, it makes less sense because of how much they make over there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a me. Maybe it's just a me thing.
Rosh,
It is just a
me and Rosh.
No,
were
look,
gonna
listen.
say- wait. Me and Rosh were gonna say that the reason why we thought the age thing was weird was because we're from foreign families, and if we
enough.
did at 15, we would get disowned.
exactly.
Yeah, which is
Like
very
when
interesting.
all of my friends would get like boyfriends or girlfriends or significant others at 15, they wouldn't tell their parents. Like they're not that stupid. So like whenever like people here were talking, my first instinct to ask them was like, do your parents know?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, and then flash over to American culture. When I was 14, when I was like the same age as the son in this, my dad would be like, "So, kid, did you get a girlfriend yet?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that
was
doesn't
so funny because
happen.
That doesn't happen.
That just
My
doesn't
mom
happen.
Would always joke. She's like, "Oh, like we're not gonna let you date until you're 23."
Oh wow.
That was
Yeah.
and it was a joke. but it
And
was
then
half
and
not
then
true.
and then they would be like, oh, like yeah, when are you gonna get a husband? Like when are you gonna
Yeah,
get
and
a
then,
wife? Like
jumping
the
straight to when are you
second
gonna get
you
married?
grad exactly.
I'm like,
It's just
hello.
what?
I'm 18.
We
years
have this
old.
exact experience.
Yeah, no, it's just a
That's-
horrible experience, and I think we should just leave it there. We just
Look,
gotta agree.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
disagree.
Look, me.
Nothing more.
Look here. This maybe it's just a me thing because I'm gonna be honest. I think the one thing that really just kind of made me feel weird. I just can't imagine giving a kid hundreds of dollars because the way I grew up, you know, my dad was on a teacher. My dad was on a teacher salary. There was no hundreds of dollars to go to the mall. That just did not. That does not exist. That did not exist, honestly. So maybe that's where I'm feeling kind of weird about that, but or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Too much of my sanity and life is spent on a very simple problem. But anyway.
That's-
Says the guy listening to Taylor Swift's entire discography
Also
in
a
order.
but I'm on the wrong side of it. Am I in the wrong for refusing to look after my neighbor's kids in a medical emergency? Now, based on the title, this seems like an easy one, but let's see what they have to say. I, female 26, live in a block of newly built apartments. Everyone moved in a year ago, so we're all getting familiar with our neighbors. There's quite a few families on my landing, and we have a shared courtyard where the kids play in the summer, so we can chat while the kids are playing. We've done favors for each other in the past, like formula milk and normal kid stuff, mainly me giving it out, to be honest. But I try not to get too friendly. I have 2 kids myself, a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old. I'm currently solo parenting as my husband has gone away for a few days to spend time with his family and friends. There's a mom group chat of the mums in the building. Oh, this is an England one. Who swap kids around and babysit each other's kids for a few hours and they rotate. I'm just a silent watcher, to be honest, and don't participate. And it's not something I'm comfortable with, and my kids can't even communicate properly. Last night around 3 a.m., I get a knock on the door. Me and my kids were fast asleep. I tried to ignore it as one, I'm home alone. Two, I wasn't expecting company. And three, it's 3 a.m. Anyways, they wouldn't stop. My kids were starting to wake up. I looked in the peephole and noticed that it's my neighbor. I opened the door and it's her and her boyfriend and 2 kids. She's 9 months pregnant, goes clearly in labor. They've got their household bags. They asked me if I could take the kids till her sister gets there in an hour. I said, I'm sorry, but no. I don't want to be liable if anything were to happen to her kids under my care, and I don't want to risk waking mine up. I feel like this is something you need to plan ahead and not start knocking on doors, hoping someone takes your kids in. I've already got my hands full with my 2, and there's no way I'm having another 2 running around my house at 3 in the morning. They are 1 and 4, and I know they just aren't going to sit and watch TV quietly. They told me evil and rude, and the BF got onto me saying, what kind of mother watches another struggle? I feel like if my husband was around, he wouldn't speak to me like that. Am I in the wrong?
Wow.
So I was reading this and I just didn't know what to think when I was reading
Same.
this.
I'm
I
kind of split, honestly, because one, yeah, you're right.
I
This
understand.
is something that should be thought out ahead of time. You're right. Like I said, like from the way this is written, it does sound like this person, the person who was asking to watch the kids, was 9 months pregnant or very close to it. So this is something. This wasn't like a very early preemie or anything like that, where it's like, oh, we weren't expecting it to be a thing, so we just didn't have it planned out yet. But on the other hand, I feel like you could.
I mean, it's only an hour. It's
yeah,
like,
it's not like they're asking like, hey, can you watch the kids for an indefinite amount? They're like, listen,
no, yeah, they're
help
like,
is on the way. She just couldn't get here in time. We have to go like right now. Can you
Help
like
is
watch
on
the
the
kids
way.
for an hour?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's up to like your comfort. Like, yeah, she's already got
Yeah, this one I can
kids,
see both sides
so-
of, honestly. This one I'm not gonna get too.
she's
mad
got
about.
kids already, and like she said, her kids are what, younger? Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
like,
specify
and
the
11 months.
they didn't specify the ages
Yeah, they did.
of
Yeah.
wait, no, wait.
They did. It was a what? 2
2
and an 11-month-old.
2 and 11, and then
2 and
the other
11.
kids were 1 and
Wait.
4.
Where does it say that?
Like.
I tried to get.
The story.
I have 2 kids myself, a 2-year-old and an 11-month-old. It's like the 3rd paragraph, Liz.
Oh, the third pair. No. I was talking about the other ones, but
Yeah,
I
that's
see
all.
they did
That's
talk about the
also
other ones also.
25.
That's all.
They're 1 and 4. Okay, 1 and 4 is crazy. And mixing that with 2 and 11 months old is like not independent even in the
Yeah,
slightest.
this is
so-
one where it's going to be different based on your comfort level with the kids. Like this one I can
Yeah.
easily see both sides.
I think the biggest problem here is the time. I mean, 3 in the morning, unannounced. There's kids coming to stay in your house for. I mean, even if it's an hour, even if it's like 30 minutes, whatever. That's still kind of like a crazy ask, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a bit.
I honestly I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, because I mean, like, to be fair, they didn't know if she worked. She could be working at 6 a.m. in the morning the next morning. Like, they never asked. Like,
She could be going on the morning bus.
she could. So you're right. Like, asking someone at 3 a.m. just randomly to watch kids, not knowing if they have to get up in the morning, like,
Yeah.
it's a big ask.
3 a.m. is like, if they had come at like in the middle of the day, I would have been like, you know what? Like, it's an hour. You're not gonna lose any sleep. It's just like a quick thing for an hour. But it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, at this
It's
point,
pretty
like you're
early.
not going back.
And
to
especially
sleep.
with an
In
11.
hour, you're done. Like
I was gonna say 11, especially with an 11-month-old. Like, babies wake up multiple times a night, and that already makes you lose sleep. And then you have to deal with someone else's kids on top of your kids. It's 4 kids in one house. So I understand that she said no. I don't think she's necessarily in the wrong. Also, we gotta keep in mind there's other people in this complex that she lives in. Apparently, that's what she mentioned at the beginning. So there's other people that she could go to if this person said yeah, like no, then like I'm sure there's other options that she could go to someone else's door and ask them, like someone nearby. I don't know. It seems like there's a huge community of families, so there's like other parents who are available who might have said yes at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if this person asked other people or not, but I feel like that might have been an option as well. But in this specific situation, I don't think that they're necessarily in the wrong.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because you just can't put the responsibility of a child or multiple children on someone completely unannounced. I just feel like that's super unfair to the person who has to watch them. And I feel like that person's going to be unprepared to deal with that. So there's no way I can really say that the person who wrote this story is really in the wrong.
Yeah. And again, there is a difference. Like again, if this was like several months early, like if the baby's coming early or something like that, where like it's like you didn't have any time to prepare. Sure, like that. In that case, I could understand. Like okay, last resort kind of stuff like that. But like, it sounds like you had a plan, should have had a more of a concrete plan
Yeah.
for this ahead of time.
Yeah, it makes
know.
sense. I get it though. Like I completely understand the pregnant families
I understand both
but
parts of this.
I don't
what
think
is Reddit?
in this situation I don't think that the author's in the wrong. And Reddit
Reddit
agrees.
agrees? Okay.
Not in
Yeah.
the wrong.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm glad that this one was a little more easy to agree. Like I said, we understand both perspectives. I mean I do at least. I think that it's completely understandable. It's stressful, especially when you already have 2 kids and then you're pregnant with your third. And I don't know. We don't know the full context and situation, but I think that there was definitely other options. They could have asked somebody else, and I'm sure someone else would have said yes if it was just for an hour. I mean, at 3 o'clock in the morning. But regardless, I don't know. I'm glad Reddit's on the same page as
Or
us.
you know what else they could have they could have done is if it was her and the boyfriend, you could have had the boyfriend knocking on a different door too. So you could have if she said no, then it's like, okay, what does the backup, like, okay, you're asking that person, I'll go ask someone else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like have an escape route,
An escape route.
in lack of a better word.
Yeah, I think that's
There
one
are
of the
options that
There
could
were
have
options.
been exercised that were not.
Yeah, but it's
Best of luck
understandable.
to the new parents.
Yeah, best of luck to them for sure.
Break a leg.
Right. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. That was Love Me Do by the Beatles. We have a very
Promising new indie band.
promising new indie band.
They're new.
Yeah. That was their
Yeah,
new
you haven't
single.
heard?
Yeah, up and coming.
Yeah,
Up and
their
coming.
new album drops in like a couple weeks.
They're from this place called England. I've never heard of it. It's a really far off country. Has anybody ever heard of England before?
Yes,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you know what else is made of?
Queen or something like that, didn't they? I heard.
Maybe it's
It's got a new queen.
maybe England isn't a place. It's an emotion, you know.
You know what
It's a
else
state of mind.
This is a state of mind. Disneyland.
Fair enough.
So Disney.
An expensive one.
Disneyland. New York.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made.
So Disneyland's Mickey Mouse and Cinderella performers are looking to unionize. Labor organizers announced the campaign yesterday, saying performers want better safety conditions and scheduling policies to help them keep the magic alive for visitors. While most of the more than 35,000 workers at the Disneyland Resort in Southern California already have labor unions, about 1,700 performers in parades, character actors, and support staff do not. Kate Schindel, the president of Actors Equity Association that would represent the performers, said, quote, "This isn't one of those situations where we're out making the employer the bad guy. It is uniquely important Disney remains a place that people view as magical, and I think that unionizing will improve that across the board," end quote. Union membership has been on a decades-long decline in the United States, but organizations have seen growing public support in recent years amid high-profile contract negotiations involving Hollywood studios and Las Vegas hotels. The National Labor Relations Board, the federal agency that protects workers' right to organize, reported more than 2,500 filings for union representation during the 2023 fiscal year, the highest number in 8 years. So, this is really bringing me back to all of the strikes that we were seeing last semester.
To be honest, I kind of figured the Disney workers were unionized already.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are. That's what
I'm surprised like more of them are, I should say.
Yeah, so that's what it says. It says that some of them are, but not all of them. And so then not all of them have labor unions to associate with and to identify with. And I just knew it was coming. I was just waiting. For him to say something.
You want to go inside my picket line?
Why is it so accurate? I don't like it. It's scary.
I used to be able to do it better. When I was younger, my voice was just naturally higher. I used to
Better? That sounds so
No,
accurate.
it used to be more natural though.
Of course, your voice was higher when you were a kid.
Oh yeah, no, I had a very squeaky voice.
I can imagine.
Now it's just I don't even know what it is now. It's just
You know who I can imitate perfectly? Nicole, our morning bus producer, and my roommate.
Wait, everyone go around and do your best Nicole impression.
Ugh.
Actually, let's not. Okay, let's.
I would really
do our
rather not.
jobs, guys.
To not get fired.
Yeah.
Valid. Well,
Yeah. I
I don't know. I don't know how to
I
say
hope
it.
that they come to a resolution with this.
A
With this
resolution.
resolution. I hope they come to a resolution. Some kind of solution
Yeah.
with this.
Oh.
And I hope that they find or a compromise. You know what I mean? I hope that there is some kind of compromise
Yeah.
in this specific situation. But now we have some news related to the music world, Danny.
Yeah.
And
What?
this-
Why is it so dark in here? Could it be Dark Matter? The new Pearl Jam? Well, Pearl Jam has a new album. It's called Dark Matter.
Maddle?
Dark
Maddle.
Maddle.
What the heck? Jump scare.
Well, Nicole.
Danny
I
just
knew
went.
Nicole was
For
coming.
those not watching on Hawk Plus, Danny just went to walk out because he was
Yeah,
offended.
I was
And
about to
Nicole
leave.
Passero, our Morning Buzz producer, was standing at the door waiting for him.
How you doing today, Nicole?
I'm doing great on this lovely Valentine's
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Nicole.
Valentine's Day.
No, Valentine's Day was yesterday.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Today is Valentine's Day.
I don't get the
Today is
silver.
Valentine's Day. Bugs.
Bugs.
Is it Valentine's Day?
Huh?
Is it Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
It's Valentine's
Is it?
Day, February 14th, 2024. Let's go. For all the single people.
Let's
out
go.
So enthusiastic. Let's go.
You know, you say that on the same level as what's the State Farm? Like, we are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, that's not sleeping.
No,
Oh,
I don't think that.
Hey, Danny, you want to finish your story?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to
Please.
give context because
This-
Danny's favorite song is "Bugs" by
Can we
Pearl
play
Jam.
it? Wait, can we play it after this?
We can play it after this. Yes, we can. But
God.
you gotta tell us about their new album first.
Yeah, so they have Pearl Jam has a new album out called Dark Matter. First single of the same title has been released, and the band is starting a world tour in May. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famers revealed the new details of the project and their 2024 plans yesterday. Dark Matter is their 12th studio album, their first one since 2020's Gigaton?
Yes.
Okay. Gigaton. It will be released on April 19th on Monkey Wrench and Republic Records. The tour is scheduled to begin on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Singer Eddie Vedder, lead guitarist Mike McCready, and bassist Jeff Amnett played the record for the first time on January 31st for invited guest at the Troubadour Club in West Hollywood. And as he introduced the album, Vedder said from the stage, quote, "No hyperbole, I think this is our best work," which, personally, I mean, when Bugs exists, I don't know what can top it. The silence is palpable.
It's because no one cares about Bugs.
Oh, apparently
If
Danny
there's a
does.
million Bugs fans in the world, I'm one of them. If there's one Bug fan in the world, it's
Which
me.
one is your
If there are
favorite?
no Bugs fans left in the world, then that is because I have died.
Which one is your favorite bug? The ant, dragonfly, the cockroach.
The one with the
What?
Oh, wait, you haven't heard the song yet, have you, Rosh?
No, I haven't.
Light
I
bug!
tried.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Here too?
Yeah.
It's a party in here now.
Look, I think it's time for us to listen to Bugs at
No.
at the request of Danny Krashtek. And once we listen to Bugs, we'll be right back for some
Why are you
weird
here?
news. It's time for Bugs. Okay, we're gonna talk about some
For better or worse.
weird news,
I
and
already have.
we need to talk about some weirder news.
Oh, he's-
So, New Orleans thief steals 7 king cakes from bakery in a very Mardi Gras way. With their purple, gold, and green colors and toy babies hidden inside, king cakes are staples of Mardi Gras celebrations in New Orleans. But apparently, they're also valuable enough to steal, at least this time of year during the carnival season. A thief stole 7 king cakes, about as many as he could carry, during a break-in last week at a New Orleans bakery. The thief also took cash and a case of vodka from Bittersweet Confections last Wednesday, according to the New Orleans Police Department. The bakery wrote on social media, quote, "Our king cakes are just that good, but please come and purchase one during our regular store hours," end quote. King cakes are among the foods most associated with Carnival in New Orleans. The rings of pastry are adorned with purple, green, and gold sugar or icing, and they often have a tiny plastic baby hidden inside as a prize. One wisecracker responded to the bakery's social media post with a tongue-in-cheek false admission that he was a thief. The man posted, quote, "It was me. I'm holding all 7 babies hostage until I get a lifetime supply of king cakes from you every year," end quote.
So this is just a thing? Is like little plastic babies?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is also a thing in Hispanic culture on Three Kings Day, which is January 6th. It's literally just a cake shaped in
Da-da-da.
a ring. It's shaped in a ring, and there's 1 to 3 little plastic babies hidden inside. And at least I don't know about in New Orleans, but in Hispanic culture, they cut up the cake and you pick a piece, and if you get the baby in your piece, then you have to throw a party on, I believe it's February 3rd or February 2nd or February 15th, something like that.
Then you guys invite me to-
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We did this as like a thing in like middle school. Like they celebrated this, and I got the baby and I ate it in class, so I didn't have to do anything.
Nah,
Is the baby edible?
No,
no.
It's not.
it's
made of
it's plastic.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
So you
just-
ate plastic rather than throwing a party.
No, because it was like if you got the baby in class, you had to like stand up in front of everyone and tell them, and I was too scared to do such a thing, so I ate the baby.
Nah.
And then they went to the cake looking for the baby, and I sat there silently the entire rest of the day. They're like, "Where's the baby?" I was like, "Well, I know where the baby is, but I'm not gonna tell them."
So, yeah,
Oh
so
my
good.
goodness. No, it's I I think that I don't know if there's some kind of, I guess, tradition that goes with if you get the baby in New Orleans.
I think it's the same thing.
Same thing, you have to throw a party.
I believe it's something like the same
Something
thing.
like that,
It's
okay.
Mardi Gras, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
it makes sense. It's a party season, so it would make sense why they would do that.
Yes. So it says whoever finds the baby and there's like a cake. Also, if you find the baby, you bring the next king cake, like the next time. You're in charge of bringing the cake next time the party happens.
Oh, okay. So you have to bring the plastic babies next.
Yeah, but
We're-
it means luck and prosperity for the rest of the year. So
I don't know, 2018, have like people just put little plastic babies around their school, or was that just the South Jersey thing?
That's just a South
That's just
Jersey
my
thing.
Yes, for some reason, someone bought like a pack of like these little tiny like plastic babies and would like put them on like, you know,
yeah, I ate
air
one.
ducts and, you know, just like on in the hallways and on top of the fire alarms like that. It was very weird.
Yeah, I
It was
ate the
very
only
weird
plastic
thing.
baby in my school. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they did it again after I ate the plastic baby. I think I ruined it for everyone else because, you know,
Oh well.
I guess,
don't eat the plastic
That's
baby.
unbearable.
Riley, I guess you gotta throw a party now.
No, no, I ate the baby. It wasn't mine.
That's truly unbearable.
Ah ha ha ha.
Ah ha
Yeah,
ha.
so we have something. I was surprised for Rosh, who's gonna be so
This is a
excited
big
for
surprise.
this. I'm
That's a big
bringing back
surprise.
Bear Hall of Fame.
I thought we already did last week.
No, I'm bringing
Oh.
it back for good.
Yes.
So every week we're gonna have a bear story, and we're gonna decide if this bear gets to be placed in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. Bear Hall of Fame. Let's
So
Well,
go.
what about this bear?
This
Tell us
is
about
this is our bear for this week. So this bear wanted to be part of this family. They wanted to be this family's pet. A Washington woman's home security camera was recording when a large bear attempted to enter her home through the doggy door. Amy Holt said her camera recorded as the bear approached the back door of her North Bend home. Holt said, quote, "The video is completely entertaining, but also makes me a little worried about waking up in bed with the bear next to me." End quote. The video shows the bear attempting to squeeze through the doggy door, which turned out to be too small. Holt said the bear also tried to unsuccessfully push its way in through her windows, but it didn't try to Kool-Aid Man through the
This is
through the
literally
window.
a lot of Winnie the Pooh blood and honey.
Holt said, quote,
This is literally what happened.
Holt said, quote, "We live in a rural area and encounters are a normal part of living here. It's one of the things we enjoy most about living in North Bend." End
Well,
quote.
just one of my favorite things about living in North. I don't live in North Bend. One of my favorite things about living in North Bend is just watching the bears try to
Eh,
Kool-Aid Man through your
Can't
door,
bear it.
or in this case, not Kool-Aid Man through your door.
do you think do you think when he broke in he would say like give me the honey?
Yes,
No.
yes, yes.
I don't think so. I really think you need to watch another movie, maybe get another hyperfixation.
Yeah,
New obsession,
You
please.
gotta get put on to something else at this point. But I think the story just goes to prove that bears are just very, very big, fluffy
It's
dogs.
funny that like
I-
bears
No,
are just
no,
the
no,
most terrifying and
no.
goofy as heck.
No. You
That-
guys
that-
don't understand the theory. Bears are actually humans.
That's true. We talked about this.
Yes, we
Uh,
discussed it. This is last semester, I apologize. Last semester on was it the Monday Buzz? Yes, the Monday Buzz last semester. We had Bear Hall of Fame every single week. And
Bringing 'em
it
back.
got to the point where we started to realize that bears are actually humans. They are not bears because they are way too human-like to be bears.
Yes, I created this theory last semester
Yes, this is
on the
Rasha's
Monday
theory.
Morning Buzz, and I still stand by it very strongly and stubbornly as this bear, and that bears are practically humans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is the case, and
But does this
that's it.
bear make the Bear Hall of Fame?
I think
I would
that this
say
bear does make the Bear
sure,
Hall of
yeah.
Fame because
Hey, this is Liz and my thing, okay?
this bear was just looking at real estate, just looking for
Just looking for and wants a
Looking for a
family.
family.
It just
I-
wants a
I agree.
family.
this bear just wanted a family.
Just
I
want-
hope that the bear
He was
found
looking for
a
Tigger.
suitable home. I hope so.
He was looking for Tigger.
I hope the bear found a very sweet home.
A very sweet
Very-
home.
Yes. And we also hope everyone has a very happy Valentine's Day
A very
because it is the end of the Morning Buzz Valentine's Day
No.
edition. And unfortunately, that's all we have for everyone today. We hope you have a great Valentine's Day. And if you want to tune in to the Buzz again, we will be on live, same time, same place, tomorrow and Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And if you want to just tune into Wednesday Buzz, you can do so next Wednesday, same time, same place.